Alex.
And I'm Lou.
Hello. So today's topic is intimacy in the Middle Ages. Not the Middle Ages, like, the olden days.
Even I wasn't there in the Middle Ages.
But, just being intimate with your partner as you get into that phase of your life where your body's changing and things are different and changing. And
do you feel self-conscious about your body? Has that changed? Do you feel a bit more self-conscious?
So
not? Has your body changed?
I do, but not from how I look. Not how I look. And it's things like we were just talking about earlier, like my breath sometimes.
You got bad breath?
No, I don't have bad breath. But I didn't put it this way. When I was 21, I could drink as much coffee as I wanted. And I mean, I'll probably have ex-colleagues sort of jumping on going, oh no, Mags, you did sting a coffee. But it was just seemed to just, I don't know. Whereas now I'm like, oh, actually, I need to clean my teeth.
But it's hormones as well. The thing
It's
is,
hormones.
when the hormones are all sort of changing in your body, then your general body odor is going to change. And I found that I've got sweatier armpits. This is a big, anyway, let's go there. Should we go to all the smells? So
this is about intimacy because actually it then affects your partner's enjoyment of the experience.
I suppose what we're saying is if your body odor is changing, you might feel more self-conscious, and then you're going to think, is my partner feeling weird if I feel weird? It's just all part of that.
It's just different.
Yeah. So yes, I think it is a thing, and it's a thing that happens to us because our hormones are changing. That's for sure. So shower more, brush your teeth. I don't know. And be careful what you eat a bit, because also genuinely though, what you eat does affect, because when your body's sweating, and of course if you've got menopause and you're sweating as well, you're detoxifying while you sweat, and that's a lot of what it is. And the chemical balance of your skin is different.
Right back to the drinking or not drinking.
Yeah.
Because that stuff is just coming out of your pores. 2 glasses of wine and you're sweating wine. But so that's one aspect of intimacy, isn't it? And let's just call it sex.
So,
because that's what it is.
Well, there's also the things like, do you actually want to have sex?
Yeah. And is it painful, or does that experience change?
Yes.
So I will go first and say yes. Sex in my 40s is very different to sex in my 20s and 30s.
See, I didn't really notice much of a difference in my sex life till I was in my 50s, because I actually think you're going through the menopause much earlier than me. You're perimenopausal, and I didn't start mine until I was older than you are now. So I suppose it's a little bit different. But I have always had quite a high sex drive, quite honestly, and even though I've been married for a long time, that's not ever been a problem and that's quite common, in a long-term marriage. It's the roller coaster, it's up and down. We've always been like, quite good and all that. But I definitely went through a phase of just not being interested, which then causes some issue, doesn't it?
Isn't it, of your partner is saying, well, what have I done? Yeah. Is it my fault? Is there something that I can do that's going to make things better? And if you are in a relationship where you do want to grow as a couple and pardon the pun, and to get beyond things like that, then you do talk about stuff, and you do sort of say, well, actually, can I do that differently, or is it there's something that I can change? But it's a journey, isn't it? Yeah. And I think one of the nice things about being with someone who understands the menopause and is open to talk about it, and that's what we're getting to here, isn't it?
That's actually the key, because if you can't talk about it, because I think if you are embarrassed or you feel it's all wrong and you don't really understand what's going on, but you can't be open about it, and then the other person doesn't understand why, and then they're feeling, oh, is it me? Then you're in this downward spiral.
Yeah. And I've got to say, I will say this, that I went on HRT probably might be 6 months ago now. Changed my life. Feel so much better. Wow. But that's my experience.
I'm going to say as well, HRT and my sex life. HRT, how it affected my sex life, that was the game changer. I've got to be honest.
Yeah.
Once I went on HRT, the vaginal dryness reframed itself. went, and I was back in the game.
Yeah.
Shall we say?
Yeah, and I'm not going to disagree with that, but actually the point I was going to make as well is that the reason I ended up going to the doctors and saying these are my symptoms, and actually getting to a point where I say, look, I think I might need to go on HRT, is because I'd had conversations with my partner who had noticed certain things, and I was like, oh, don't be stupid, I've just had a bit of Stilton for my dinner, it's not that, or I'm just stressed from the kids, or there was always an excuse. But actually when you just put it all together, it was his understanding and me being open to that, and those conversations which really
if you can have the conversations, it is going to help, but not everyone can they? And that's and that's an issue. And there is counselling, and you can go to professional counsellors, because it doesn't have to be, and it shouldn't be, but sex and intimacy is a massive issue. It actually is, and I personally think it's a massive part of a relationship.
It can break relationships. Oh, yeah. Obviously.
So when you get these situations when everything changes, you don't feel like, so so as a woman, if you've been one way for many years and looked one way and smelt one way and acted one way and been emotionally close, there's that other thing as well. Sometimes you start feeling distant, and suddenly you change. And you don't, you're...
I mean, it's bonkers, isn't it? I mean, can you imagine if our partners just changed over a period of 6 months into like some beast that we didn't recognise? It'd be quite terrifying. Like, what on earth's going on?
Yeah, and I do feel for the guys. Yeah, if you're a male-female partnership,
Definitely.
if it's the guy, because they're not going through it, so they're not going to understand. And if it just comes at them, then how do they? And that's why. Check out one of our Thinking Women's where
I was just going to mention that.
Alison talking about they've done a whole men and menopause series that you can buy on Udemy, which is brilliant, by the way. So, and that's for guys to watch, so that they know how to handle it.
They could just get your partner to watch us.
Yeah.
We've been quite open about it today.
Sounds a bit weird.
Or listen to us.
Anyway, on that note,
I hope that's been helpful for people. And we have a bit of sharing going on there, Lou, wasn't there, for us?
A bit oversharing maybe, but we don't care.
Okay.
Till next time.
Bye.
Bye.